Hello, Cascade Kids. It's the first Sunday of the month, which means we have a new Life app. What's a Life app? It's something God does in you to change the world around you. And this month's Life app is commitment. Let's read the definition to that together, okay? Commitment is making a plan and putting it into practice. Now, if you want to do anything important, you need a plan. You need to commit to that plan. And that's what we're going to be talking about all this month. And our lesson today is from a book in the New Testament called 1 Corinthians. Now, we call it a book, but actually it was a letter that the Apostle Paul wrote to the church in Corinth. Paul wrote letters to encourage churches all over the place, and he did this to show people what it means to follow Jesus. Now, our passage comes from 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verses 24 through 25. Let's read it together, okay? In a race, all the runners run, but only one gets the prize. You know that, don't you? So run in a way that will get you the prize. All who take part in the games train hard. They do it to get a crown that will not last. But we do it to get a crown that will last forever. A race. Paul wrote about runners in a race to explain something about being a follower of Jesus. So I think it would be helpful if we think about runners and what does it take to run a big race like the 7-day 6K or the 10K? Well, you have to plan. You have to start months in advance and decide when you're going to make time in your day to practice running. And then you have to plan how you're going to run, because you can't just start from the couch and get up and run 5K, right? So you start with small distances and then you work your way up, and you need a plan to train steadily month after month after month so you can have the stamina to finish the race. And then once you have a plan, you have to move, and you start by running a few miles at first, and then you add on more and more just like you planned. And then as your body gets stronger, you can go farther and farther. You also have to fuel your body with the right stuff. You have to stay hydrated, eat healthy, and build up your muscles. And you have to put the right stuff into your body so you can get stronger. And now here's the last part. And it might surprise you. You have to get lots of rest so you can be fully charged. And so you can recover from all the hard work of training that your body goes through. And that's especially true and important in the days right before the big race. Okay. So running takes a lot, and you have to plan. You have to move, fuel up, and rest. And you have to do all of those things in order to do your best running. That takes commitment, doesn't it? Okay, now getting back to our lesson, Paul said to run in a way that will get you the prize. And remember, Paul wasn't just talking about running an actual race. So let's look again at what Paul wrote in his letter to the Corinthians, okay? All who take part in the games train hard. They do it to get a crown that will not last. But we do it to get a crown that will last forever. Okay, what race is Paul talking about? And what about the crown? What does Paul mean by a crown that lasts forever? Well, he was talking about our relationship with Jesus. It's a relationship that lasts forever. So we should care about it in the way an Olympic runner, say, cares about winning the gold medal at the next Olympics. They train and live for it because it is the most important thing to them. And that's how we should live and think. Like our relationship with Jesus is what we really live for. And make no mistake, if you are a follower of Jesus, you are racing. And it's a race that you race every single day. So if we want to run the race and we want to run it well, there's some things that we can do to help us too. Ready? We can hear. We can take time to hear from God. And we do this, boys and girls, by reading what's written in the Bible, by reading God's Word and remembering it. And then we can pray. Like, we can take time to pray to God and be with Him. Tell God how you feel about anything that's going on in your life. He cares about you. And I want you to know, boys and girls, you can pray to God anywhere, anytime, about anything. Nothing is too big or too small to pray about. And then we can talk. We can talk about God. Talk about what we believe with our family, with our friends, with our small group leaders, with others we know who follow Jesus. And here's the really great thing. When we do that, we can learn from them too, if we listen. And finally, we can live for God. Live for God in everything we do. We can worship Him, and not just by singing, but with the way that we live our lives, the way that we treat other people, the way we give back to God with our offerings and our money, and with the way we give back to God with our time by serving Him, and with the choices that we make every single day. We can choose to live for God. Hear, pray, talk, live. That's our plan for living as followers of Jesus. And this month, we're going to learn more about what it means to practice our faith like it really is the most important thing that matters to us. Bottom line, keep practicing what matters most. Let's say that out loud together, okay? Keep practicing what matters most. Now, kids, did you get your Cascade Kids monthly boxes? Because there are fun activities for this week. Preschoolers, please send me pics of the bakery liner gardens that you make, because I want to see them. And elementary kids, if you're going to go get your boxes now and work on them during the rest of this service, be sure to grab a coin. See, there's an activity sheet in there about our lesson, and I didn't want you to see the answer, so all I'm going to say is you're going to need to do some scratching to find the answers to that. And if you haven't been receiving the monthly boxes for your family and you would like to, you can click on the Cascade Kids monthly box tab in the digital bulletin, or follow the link below to register your family to receive either an elementary or preschool box. And now let's close with our memory verse. And I want everyone to read along with me out loud. And that goes for those of you who are viewing online and for those of you who are viewing in person. And if you're in person, I'm probably sitting next to you, so I will hear you. Here we go. Training the body has some value, but being godly has value in every way. It promises help for the life you are now living and the life to come. 1 Timothy 4:8.